Hi guys, it's Gordon from Kaizen Active here, and this video is all about what you should eat if you are exercising early in the morning. So the first thing I would say is that it depends on the type of exercise that you're going to do. We've got two different types of classes. We've got kind of more of a metabolic cardiovascular class, and we've got a strength and conditioning class. So they're both very different and have got different demands. Let's start with the cardiovascular one. You're going to need two things, concentrate on two things. First one, you need to be well hydrated. In fact, that's true for the strength one too. So you've got to be well hydrated. So very simply, first thing in the morning when you wake up, get some water down. You whether it be half a pint or a pint, get yourself well hydrated. That would be where I would start on either day. The next thing you might want to consider is if you like tea or coffee, get some of that in as well. Caffeine is going to make exercise feel a little bit less hard, and that's definitely going to help. And it may also help you burn a little bit more fat. People can be different in that respect, but for some people they do really well with a little bit of caffeine in the system. I won't get into the kind of techie science of why it works, but caffeine making exercise feel easier and potentially burning a bit more fat is going to be a good shout. And with your tea or coffee, if you wanted a little bit of sugar in that, that would do you no harm either. So then on to, what are you going to eat or how are you going to get some calories in pre-training. Now everybody's different for this. Everyone's got a different tolerance for different food types, but if I start off with genetically what you need is you need carbohydrates. You are going to be working hard, burning anywhere 400 up to 800 calories in class quite readily in the hour. You need carbohydrates on board. Now your choice of carbohydrates is very much down to you, and this is where people are different. So our GI tract, our stomach, can tolerate some people are very good eating pre-exercise, other people not so good. So options could be 1 or 2 bits of fruit. That would be a decent place to start and a great way to start getting in if you like your 5 a day. What I would say with fruit is, just if you've tried one bit of fruit and it didn't work for you, then try something differently. I can eat bananas pre-exercise and do really well, but if I eat apples, I get a stitch. And it feels really uncomfortable. So different fruits might behave slightly differently for different people. So fruit would be a great place to start. Another thing to consider would be, instead of fruit, maybe something like toast and jam. I know a lot of people are going to frown and go, oh my god, that's terrible, it's bread and it's sugar, but you're about to exercise, you need the calories and your body will thank you for it. There are Olympic athletes that do exactly that. White bread or brown bread, it really doesn't matter. I'm guessing most of you won't have a lot of white bread in the house, so brown bread's probably going to be it. But honestly, it wouldn't make much of a difference. And I guess lastly, maybe something, a yogurt or something like that's quite light on the stomach as well. So these would be some of my suggestions, but basically anything that's a carbohydrate that you can tolerate well and don't want to throw up when you are exercising would be a great place to start if you like. So that should take care of it for the metabolic side. The strength side is a little bit different. On the strength side, you don't have the same cardiovascular demand. You're not going to burn as many calories. So you don't need as many carbohydrates, but you'll probably benefit from getting in a little bit of it. So I would recommend some carbs pre-strength training, and equally so again the hydration stuff, the coffee stuff, the tea stuff, that's all exactly as per the metabolic side. So hopefully that helps. Just one last thing. If you don't get that, quite right, if you're not eating pre-exercise, you're not going to enjoy it as much. And that's not good. You're not going to be able to push yourself as hard. And again, you're here to push yourself through your comfort zones and to get fitter faster. You get fitter faster when you're pushing your limits. So if you're not pushing your limits because you're too tired to push your limits because you've not got the food in, then that's not going to work overly well. And I guess the other thing, or a couple of other things, definitely risk of injury, that would increase as well. So if your muscles can't fire properly because they don't have enough energy present at the time, then the stress goes onto the joints, onto the tendons, onto the ligaments, and that's where we'll often see injuries happen. So I think that should be just about everything that you need, but if you've got any questions, just ask. And I guess one last thing, if you are a Kaizen Active private member, then you will, in the Facebook private members area, there is an exercise nutrition guide that will give you maybe a little bit more detail if you're looking for it. So I hope that's been useful for you, and any questions, just ask. Take care, bye bye.